What's up, guys? Mostly with Negron Tech here, and yeah, I know I'm a tech channel, but obviously, you know, when it comes to PC hardware, the point for me at least is the game. So I've been enjoying D4. I'm more of a PoE guy, but at least Diablo 4, it's a very solid game. And today I'm bringing you guys, you know, the Melee Chad, the Slayer Chad, the Guts build, the GIGACHAD build, the non-meta cuck, the Contrarian Captain build. You know, it's here, guys. The build that does not just spam Shouts and Whirlwind or Shouts and HOTA. We're gonna actually do something different, guys. We're gonna have a good time. The Slammer Jammer, man. I can't wait to bring it to you. Alright, guys, this is gonna be a walking arsenal Hammer of the Ancients build with a little bit of sprinkle of Captain Contrarian and some other random stuff that actually ends up working out pretty damn good. We're going to use HOTA, that's our core skill. Our basic skill is going to be Lucky Strike, no big deal. Our ultimate's going to be Rapid Berserker. For this build, you don't really need an ultimate. If you want to use this, you can. If you want to use something else, like a Ground Stop or maybe another defensive, you can do that. But the point is not to use Shouts, you know. We're going to do something different. We're going to have a more active, involved playstyle, and that's going to really come down to charge. And then the other core, Big Dick, the Guts, the Lion Squall, Deathblow, guys. So I'll get more into it. We're going to start with the gear, then the tree, and show some highlights and stuff like that. But it's a very, very active playstyle. It's a very fun build. It's different, and I feel like it has a lot of damn potential. I can't wait to actually further this character and really start to push it. Alright, guys, going to gear. I'm not going to get too into it because there's a lot of guys that go in-depth on stats, but generally, on your defensive items, you go your defensive stats, you lean towards that, and your offensive items, you know, the ring, ammo, the weapons, you lean to your offensive. Crit chance, lucky hit chance, max fury, fury cost reduction, cooldown reduction, all these things are huge, right? The biggest one is going to be bone damage because that scales the best. From there, you just generally get what you need. The other two core aspects that you need is on a helm and gloves. For gloves, I don't have it, but you want ancestral, so you can get that base +3 HOTA, and then as you level it up, you get +4, which is massive because the ranks of skills, especially the active damaging skills, it increases the damage to insane amounts. Helm, you're going to get your Deathblow ranks, which is big. I like damage reduction on Helm. It's nice, consistent. It's going to be 100% uptime. For chest, this is also personal preference. There's other defensive. You can go the barrier one, or you can go more consistent fortified generation, weapon swap, or other conditional fortifies. You can put that on chest if you want, but I just like to increase armor. I feel like armor is one of the best defenses in the game. I feel like resistance stacking is lacking. Here, this is kind of personal preference. You can use something else if you want to, but you know, when you do HOTA, you know, we have such a high lucky hit that you're gonna have a pretty good uptime about extending this. The more I think about this now, I'll probably switch this out because as long as you don't mess up your combo with Deathblow during mapping, your Berserk's gonna be very, very high uptime during mapping where this isn't needed. The one thing I am missing is the Walking Arsenal if you hit. That's another huge one because we're gonna have 100% uptime of Walking Arsenal. For legs, this is huge. This is one of our 3 on-demand unstoppables. You really, really need this. My roll is trash, but you know, that's not the point. This is one of the core ones, at least for defensive-wise, right? Because one of the best things about this build is that we have 4 unstoppables in this. As you get to those Nightmare Dungeons, it's utter cancer trying to actually map when you're just getting perma-stun or perma-CC'd. Having 3 on-demand and 1 conditional up next, this is absolutely mandatory. I need a better roll, but pretty much if you do get this to 20%, you're going to have absolutely no problem mapping where you can actually just, you know, charge for weapon mastery stacks and on cooldown if you want, instead of kind of saving it for an unstoppable proc. For weapon, the 2 biggest one is going to be Edge Masters on your 2-hander, and the other one's going to be HOTA. You want as close to 100% as possible. It's going to massively increase your damage. My rolls and my gear, again, my gear is trash. I have a lot of work to do, but I just wanted to get this video out because I really haven't seen anything. People do anything like unique. Everything is just like meta cucks. Fucking everybody's just doing, oh my god, I'm just doing Shouts with Slam, Shouts with this, Shout Whirlwind, like that's it. There's like no variation. You know, the whole point of this game is that it's a single player game and you can like tailor your, you know, the fun aspect of how you want to play it, you know. This is another big one that I absolutely love, swapping weapons. This is an on-demand overpower. The 3% base chance of overpower is trash. Having a nice rotational to be able to have 2 opportunities to overpower either with Mace or with Deathblow is really, 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 really nice. Again, with this, I just got a new sword. I have to fix my gear with my aspects. My rings, I do have to change it around. I might get the one that gives resource when you CC, because we're going to be perma-sending. We're going to get a lot of CC, but I don't feel like Fury Generation is bad. The absolutely other mandatory one that you need to have this build function is the extra charge on Weapon Mastery, because now we get 2 Death Blow charges. It just completely smoothens out the playstyle, because now that we get the 2 charges, we almost get Perma Berserk. If we don't end up critting on one, then we can have the opportunity to crit on the next one, and then make sure we guarantee the execute, so we have Perma Berserk, and we have Perma Uptime and Walk-in Arsenal playing with those charges during the mapping. Alright, so for the skill tree, for our basic, we're using Lunging Strike. It's just the best one. It gets our dual wield. We use HOTA, we're slamming, we're jamming, we're GIGACHADs, we're going to have a good time, and we're going to earthquake everything. This is so much better than the overpower one. You have more max fury. I'm at 140 fury, so maxed out, it's a 40%. It's much, much, much better, and it's not conditional, because it overpowers inconsistent even with the weapon swap. We have vulnerable application, we have good lucky hit, no problem there. Next up, we use Barrier. We're not going to use Shouts. We're not Cucks. We're not being slaves to the meta. We're going to change it up. Barrier is good. It scales with the max life, which we do take, and I do like damage reduction against elites because it's just non-conditional, and elites are the most dangerous mobs, in my opinion. Back to the Barrier, we get more max life, and then we also get a heal. If you don't feel like you're getting enough Fortified Generation, you can go with this. Next up, move speed, extremely critical. It's very, very good. It just absolutely helps. It speeds up your Nightmare Dungeon mapping, and then it helps you get out of dangerous situations. Just more damage reduction while berserking. I feel like we're just berserk a lot, and I just like this, other than it's on-demand damage reduction, right? Because sometimes if you go with this damage reduction on Fortify, it's more points invested, and it's less damage reduction. Then Charge. I just like the animation better than Leap. Additionally, the thing about Charge is it has more utility, right? The animation actually, when you go into somebody, it actually pushes them back, and you have that little window where if you do get in the wall, you get the stun, and the stun gets reduced cooldown if you go into this. If you do go into this, just know that sometimes actually damaging with Charge is difficult. Sometimes you go through them and the damage doesn't tick, and in that case, the vulnerable doesn't proc. But don't worry. Because we're using Charge as a weapon arsenal, we do slashing. This is our one of 3 ways of doing slashing with the 2 death blow charges due to the aspect. Even if you don't do damage or charge, the aspect still triggers as long as you're in combat. Next up, this is the Lion's Claw. This is like the guts execute. This is sexy, such a satisfying ability, and with the +4 ranks, it does absolutely insane damage, and even better versus bosses. We go berserking because it's free damage. It's much better to get free damage, as we have no problem with Fury Generation. We just get a little bit of damage here, and we go to our ultimate. Now, the ultimate is kind of like a personal preference thing. I love Wrath of the Berserker. It has scaling damage with the Fury Generation or Fury Spent. It increases your Fury Generation. It's on demand. It's unstoppable, right? So this is our 3rd unstoppable with Charge and Iron Skin, plus our 4th is conditional when we get in low health. And I like Max Fury. I should probably put more here, but again, it's personal preference. Weapon swap on Fury Gain, very, very good. And we have a nice passive heal, which I'm a big fan of. And of course, our keystone is Walk-in Arsenal. Back for these little notables, we just get crit strike damage, and we get vuln damage because it's really damn good. When they're not vulnerable, they're stunned, so we're always going to get that. We also get lucky hit for stun, so I just want more consistent stunning. It's very, very good. This only will work with HOTA, so just be aware of that. Now, back to the ultimate. If you want to use Iron Maelstrom, I'm not a fan of it. I hate getting lockstepped. I hate the animation speed. I'd much rather be doing DPS with Death Blow and HOTA than lockstep into this, even with the reduced cooldown. I think Call of the Ancients is pretty good. The buffs that it provides are pretty good too. But if you don't even want to go out to Berserk and you want to go another more consistent vulnerable, you can go Steel Grass here. You can really do a lot. If you want to just take these 3 points out and put them into something else, you can do that too. There's a lot of versatility into the build. Next up is Paragon boards. The most critical one is going to be swapping damage with weapon swap. That's huge. The vulnerable one is really good. I have to level up my Glyphs. My shit is all fucked up right now. I'm using this for now because I already had it kind of leveled, and I'm using consistent this because it's better than the vulnerable one that I have right now. But The vulnerable is very good. For the actual Paragon board, this one I feel like is absolutely necessary because it gives you most consistent fortified generation. This is probably not too much Weapon Master. You might want to go the bleeding one for more damage because Fury generation isn't really a problem. I do feel like this actually contributes to not having Fury generation as a problem. There are other ways to circumvent Fury generation and you know, your resource, but I do just like this and I'm having fun with it. I might switch things around in the future. Other than that, you just take whatever notables you need that are going to buff your glyph, and, you know, just like the way I think about it in PoE is that, hey, I'm just going to try to have a nice, efficient, you know, pathing to the board. This is probably not the best. Probably better if I get another board and keep grinding and getting more glyphs, but, you know, it is what it is. Alright, so here's like a conventional dungeon. I'm using just an armor elixir. I like the defensive. We get like 79%. Start off, we get our dual wield, we get our slashing, and we're just going. That's it, guys. I like to save charge, but... And we just go 1, 2, 3. That's it. Boom. Huge. And these guys, let me see. I actually don't even know. 87. So we're going 13 levels higher than us. I don't know if that's good or bad. Probably not good, but whatever. And we just go 1, 2, 3. We save our unstoppables generally, unless you feel like you're safe enough to charge. You always have barrier, you know, just rotate your unstoppables pretty much when it gets bad CC. So here, I'm just gonna charge, fuck it. Wrath, since we got 2 elites. We got vulnerable here, and we one shot. It's huge, bro. Health gets low. We only have 1 charge of death blow, so then we just chill for a bit, and we make sure, try to get that reset. There we go, and the berserker. Now we can go another death blow on that bone. This dude's tanky. Oh, huge. There you go. Ooh, almost 1 mil. And this isn't even like a crit damage dungeon, too. Like, I don't have a crit or anything on this shit. It's just, and I have a tank fucking flask. That's actually crazy. But yeah, guys, this shit is like solid, actually. Again, I'm not doing this officially. I'm just trying to chill and have a good time. I know you probably shouldn't, like, the PoE way, like, just run past all this bullshit. Whatever, but hey. We play for fun. I backtrack because I'm a dumbass. I forgot anima. I feel like the range to pick it up should be a little bit better. But whatever. Also, I didn't mention it, but on the boots, I didn't go too in-depth in the gear because I feel like there's not a lot to be in-depth with this game, guys. Like, you just get your general damage increases. You get your vuln damage, crit damage. You know, if you go sword expertise and you got 100% bleed up time, you get bleed damage, you know? Like, just do whatever the fuck you want. It's really not a big deal. And again, I go the wrong way. Holy shit. It's beautiful. We RP. We got a little pixel that up. And you just notice, like, the mapping experience is so fucking smooth. You're just perma fury, like max fury. You're constantly buffed. You're constantly walking arsenal. I didn't mention this too, but I also went the, you know, swap weapon 10 times. You get automatic overpower. That's pretty good. Multiple elites. Oh, unstoppable, whatever. Even though I fucked up my death blow there, like, it's still solid. Like, HOTA still just carries you, like, oh my god, I love this shit. Oh man, this is beautiful. I gotta go around. Always kill these fucking damage ore guys, they're cancer. Yeah, dude, this is like the Chad build. We're not cucks. We're not just spamming fucking shots. Look at this shit. A little slow, but like, these guys are 13 levels. Like, imagine the power if I actually have like an optimized Paragon board and I like took more than a day to do what I was doing. I do wish I was like a little bit more optimized with this, but the thing is that I just don't really have the time. I'm primarily a hardware channel, and then I also work full time, and I have to work a lot of overtime. So like, this is just a passion project for me. Ooh. No, just remember that the vulnerable on HOTA application is only going to be 2 seconds, so you really want to get that death blow in as soon as you do proc it. As long as you maintain that extra stack, like, obviously, pray for a crit. If I had better gear, I would pretty much auto death blow after that and have my 100% crit chance, which shouldn't be too hard because, you know, we have the 18% from the Glyph, which is huge. But again, you know, a lot to do with this build. I hope that I give you guys, like, an alternate playstyle that's not, like, so obvious. Because I feel like the people that are doing weapon swap, they're going, I don't want to abuse that shit unless Butcher shows up. Trying to showcase the build. Doesn't make sense to just pop that off and just roll through the fucking dungeon. And you see, like, you know, I save charge. I normally do. I just like having the extra invulnerables. I don't really pop Wrath to the Berserker too often either because it's like if I don't need to, another one. Jesus. Oh, here we go. Like, always elites, I pop it. Get a damage aura. I get a stun opportunity here, I'll use it. I fucked up my death blows. All good. I fucked up again. Didn't get the crit, so that's a little bit unfortunate. That's like a gear issue. Right? And we get the perma stud. Oh, man. And if we needed to, like, we could just stun him again, you know? Like, it's beautiful. You know, like, this build is not really that optimized, but you see, like, I'm never in danger. This Nightmare Dungeon is 13 levels higher than me. I'm, like, in literally no fucking danger, ever. I'm perma stunning. These events, I'm not doing this shit. I do Nightmares pretty much to, you're pretty much doing Nightmare, at least in my opinion, not really for the gear, but for, where's the last one? Oh. You're doing Nightmares for, Glyph leveling. Yeah, these increased health mobs are not it. Where's this last fucker? What the fuck is this? That is not it, right? Nah, I'm not doing that shit. Woo! Yeah, I don't know them. Obviously, you can tell I don't play this game a lot. I don't know the maps. You know, I'm only level 70 something. This is my only character, by the way. I'll show you my login screen. You probably saw it already, but it's like, yeah, this is it. I'm a super casual. It's good to skip these and then come back and just get the XP from the elites. I don't think doing the event actually gives you XP, so it's not even worth it. Get the Berserk off him. And we do pop off. There it is. We don't need that. Like, you'll see, I barely ever pop during this shit. I'm gonna wait till I get 2 stacks, and then I'm gonna use Wrath of the Berserker. Actually, fuck it. Got Bono. Huge. Almost got a 1 mil crit. Didn't get the good Vuln procs there, or maybe I did, I don't know. And then I didn't get, you know, the Deathblow crits, and I didn't go in there with 2 charges. So the boss took a little bit slow, but I think a little showcase, just a nice calm one. 13 levels higher than me with the tank thing. And then I don't know if you can see the how do we see the affixes for this shit? Does it really show you or no? It's not like PoE where I can just see it anywhere. But this was, I think, I don't even know what it was, but yeah, like the mobs got extra shadow damage, like extra fizz of shadow. But yep, try to level up the berserking, get that to 15, and then yeah, that's a showcase, guys. You know, I joked around a lot about the whole meta cuck shit, but you know, some people just don't. And I do love Rowan, I really do, even though I call them cucks and shit. But and I do love shouts because they're actually excellent. It's like the best way to play Barb. But if you want to have fun, you want to be a little bit different. Like, this is an extremely viable, fun build, and it's like consistent, right? I also didn't talk about this, but like even Wrath of the Berserker, you really don't need this. If you wanted to go like ground stomp and get more stuns and get the 10% damage increase with the aspect, you can do that too. If you want to go a shout in that place, you can. If you like Iron Maelstrom and you're upset that I talk shit about it, Get it over it, bro. You can use it if you want to. It doesn't matter. And you can use Call of the Ancients if you want to. I've also thought about scenarios where you can add Leap if you want to. Like, you can do a lot of shit. Like, you can get another weapon arsenal ability here and use that. Like, there's a lot you can do, guys. Like, this build is very versatile. The core is just really Death Blow, left click, right click. You know, that's it. And then Barrier. The Charge and the Wrath of the Berserker are, like, you can do what you want here. But hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I know I'm a tech channel, but, you know, the whole point of hardware and tech, at least for me, is because we're all gamers, and I do like to game when I do have a little bit of time. So hopefully you got something out of it. You know, like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think. Have a good one, guys.